Alrighty, folks, we're doing part 2 of the Milwaukee Metal Fest video review, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to talk about Sunday, day 3, and I'm also going to talk about some of the merchandise that I got, so enjoy. Okay, as for the last day, Sunday, so the last, or Friday and Saturday, I saw 15 bands. A lot of them I wanted to see. Sunday was a little bit different. There was like 3-ish bands that I was like, I have to see these dudes. And then the rest, I was kind of like, I don't know any of these dudes, or they're just kind of all right, or whatever. So I actually saw more bands that day because I was more open to like not watching a whole band and just going and checking out other stuff. So I saw 2 extra bands, but yeah, it opened up with Gates to Hell, Repentance, Casket Robbery. Honestly, I don't really remember it that much. It just didn't really stick with me. Dying Wish I do remember. I saw like 3 songs, and this is like where the low end kind of came into effect because I don't know her name, the singer, but her vocals were coming in and it like I just couldn't distinguish it very well just because it was so in the low end of the mix that it was pretty hard to distinguish. Unfortunately, that was an issue I started to notice all through Sunday. I don't know what it was, but the low end on a lot of the bands was just like rattly. Like some songs you just couldn't even understand what the fuck was happening because the kick drum and the bass or the gutturals or whatever were just so like stuck in that little low end zone that it was just like, and you're like, what the fuck? It's like when you have a car and you turn your bass boost like all the way up. After a while, it's like, I don't even know what's happening. So that was kind of an issue I noticed specifically on Sunday. And, that's just how it goes with festivals. And it sucked, but, people have been working on this for 3 days straight. Like, some shit's going to get a little weird. And that's what happens. So, and then I went downstairs and watched some of Half. And another band called, I think it was called Dead by Wednesday. I saw, 2 seconds of that, and I was like, I'm sorry. I cannot. I just cannot do this. This is too emo for me. I couldn't fucking do it. But it was cool that I got to see it. You know what I mean? Now I know, okay, you know what? This just isn't for me. And that was kind of like, once again, that was the whole point of the weekend is like, okay, let's find new bands. Let's check them out. Let's see what's up. And then Mortal Scold. Ooh, a death metal band that I've been getting into. And they were sick, played some stuff off of Dying Remains. That was fun. And then right afterwards was Broken Hope. So I just ran upstairs because Mortal Scold and Broken Hope were the 2 bands I wanted to see that day. And they were the only bands that played right next to each other. And fuck, dude. They were so good. I missed them at Psycho Vegas because I didn't know anything about them. And then after a while I heard this record or that. Yeah, I can't remember the name of the record, but I think it's their second one. And I ran up the stairs and fuck, dude, they killed it. They killed it. And the singer from Sanguisugabog, Devin, came out and actually sang a chorus or 2 during one of their tracks, and that was fucking rad. They were just so tight, so brutal, and I just loved it. And his voice, the gutturals, oh my god, really deep, man. It was almost inhuman. There was a few bands on here where I was like, what the fuck? Malignancy and I think Defeated Sanity. Both of those bands, I was like, how in the shit did you get that low? That's insane. So Broken Hope was definitely a highlight of the weekend. They were cool. And I even got a pick from Jeremy Wagner, or Wagner, however you want to say it. Yeah. Pretty sick. I got this little thing on there. But yeah, Broken Hope murdered. I saw a little bit of Fuming Mouth. Kind of same thing, a little bit hardcore stuff, not really my thing or whatever. But it was cool to see him, and that's where the low end really got in my ear, and I was like, this is kind of exhausting. And then I went and saw Sanguisugabog. That was my 3rd time seeing them. I don't care what anybody says, man. They're a cool band. They got some hits. And there was this one chick next to me that had a broken leg. She had a big cast on, and I was like, oh my God, dude, like, why aren't you sitting down? Like, that's insane. And she was like front against the railing, and like literally she knew the words to like every song, like her and her friend or boyfriend or whatever the fuck. Like, they just knew the words to like every song, and I was like, oh my fucking God, like, obviously these are the guys you were here for. Like, cool. I've never seen somebody like so into into like a live show like that in a long time. A very long time. So that was cool to watch. They murdered and they ended with Dead as Shit, sick. And then I realized that I was like, where have I seen this Macabre Dahmer cover before? I realized before I knew anything about Macabre, their guitar player has a sticker of them on his guitar, and I was like, that's where it's from. And he was wearing that shirt too, so that was cool. And then Rob Flynn from Machine Head, actually I forgot to say this, but he played I Am the Law, I think, with Anthrax, so that was cool. And then he was also on the side of the stage pretty much watching every single band, including Sanguisuga Bog, so that was kind of cool. Then moving on, we saw Molder, another death metal band I like. Thrown Into Exile, can't really remember what happened, but I saw them. And then there was a band I had like, there was just all these bands playing. I'm like, I don't know who's playing. I'm just going to go see these dudes. And they were called Angelus Apatrida. And they impressed the shit out of me, man. Thrash metal from Italy. And it was like thrash, like Havoc and that type of like level where it's like modern thrash. And I was like, damn, these guys are fucking good. So that was cool. Pissing Razors, saw them for a bit. Once again, I don't really remember. There's some bands that I just don't remember, man. But I do have, like, I remember seeing them. I remember having the picture. I just don't remember what they sounded like. Just because they just weren't sticky. And then I saw all of Gatecreeper's set. So that was cool. Then I went upstairs to see Machine Head. And I don't really like Machine Head at all. I honestly couldn't even name a song. But it was cool to see them, say that I did. And then I saw Cephalic Carnage, and they're local boys, and I'd seen them twice. No, I'd only seen them once before, and this was the second time seeing them. And I liked this time more. Like, they just had more freedom. They weren't opening up for the Cavalier Brothers. And then they brought out this fucking inflatable orca whale. And he's like, I bring to you the mushing whale. And they just threw it out. I think they signed it, but like, it was honestly kind of just entertaining to watch people just throw the whale around. Like, I kind of watched that more than the band, like, knock people's drinks out and like threw it. The people were throwing it up in the balcony and shit. It was fun. And then the very last band of the night was Lamb of God. And I stayed through most of their set. I think they had 2 or 3 more songs left. And I was just so tired. I want to go home, and I'd seen Lamb of God before. That's kind of the weirdest thing. Like, the bands on this bill were either, like, really big bands, like, large bands, or they were, like, the complete opposite. But that kind of makes it cool, right? Because if you're going to see, all the big bands, like Fear Factory and Machine Head and the Halo Effect or whatever else was there, like, you had that. If that was like your shit, awesome. Like, they had the stage upstairs for that. Personally, I was more into, like, I want to see kind of more the medium-sized bands, more death metal side bands. And so they had that for me, and that was fucking awesome. I think that's cool, because then it exposed me to stuff I'd never heard before, and it exposed people to other things they had never heard before, So that was just cool. Like, it was varied, and it was rad. And everybody there was there because they wanted to be. I mean, it's a festival, a metal fest. Like, you're not going there like, well, I got nothing to do on Sunday. I'm just going to go do this. Like, that wasn't the vibe, man. Like, people there were there for, they were lifers and shit. I met a lot of people that were like, oh, from Oklahoma, I'm from Missouri, just all over the place. So that was sick, man. Like, people that were there wanted to be there. All right, to finish it off, I kind of just wanted to show the merchandise that we got here. So this is like an obvious pick, and I decided to go with the long sleeve, and that would be the actual shirt itself for the Milwaukee Metal Fest. And then it has these cool little logos on the side. Yeah, if I can pull them up. Yeah, just all over the sleeve, and that's cool. And then the big thing is, right, like, some bands didn't have merch. Most of the bands that played did not have merch available. So we have this handy dandy little thing here to show every single band that played and the dates and all of that. So that was cool. Deeds of Flesh had 2 exclusive shirts, and I got this one, which is their debut record that I actually just listened to like right before filming this video, and it was rad, man. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, just because I've just been talking for 30 minutes, and then that was on the back, so pretty cool. Same, they had another one where it was like that skeleton guy like on the back holding up a lanyard, and he was kind of like a little bit different colored, and then the front of the shirt was like the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse or something. So that was the other shirt that they had. This one is actually another album. Most of the shirts I got are actually album covers, which was kind of strange. But this was the exclusive Macabre Dahmer Milwaukee Metal Fest shirt. And there was actually another Milwaukee Metal Fest shirt where it was that skeleton dude again, only he had glasses on, like the Dahmer glasses. And on the back, it had Jeffrey Dahmer's mugshot, and it said, "I survived Milwaukee Metal Fest." So, like, I was buying this, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of morbid. This is kind of fucked up. I have a serial killer on my shirt. I'm like, you know what? Who gives a fuck? Like, this is just how it is. This is part of the art, right? It's means something. It's meant to be interpreted in a certain way. And then it has the dates on the back. And a drawing, don't really know what it is. I don't know if it's a police report. I don't know if it's something he drew, Dahmer drew. I don't know. But yeah, that was pretty cool. And then this album is sick as fuck, so I'm glad to have that. And this was the only Impulse buy, okay? Because I already have a few Anthrax shirts, and I was like, oh, I don't need another one. But I Am the Law is my favorite Anthrax song. And I had been thinking about getting one of their shirts for a long time with Judge Dredd on it. And I was like, but finally, they had one where I was like, oh, shit, I gotta get that. And it's a raglan. It's an OG design. It's got Judge Dredd on there. I Am the Law. I love the colors, the white and the blue, and of course the flag. It's, dude, like, that is just a sick shirt. So I was like, damn it. So I had to get that. The last one, this is like, I kind of purposely got this because they had a Broken Hope Milwaukee Metal Fest exclusive shirt. But I was like, you know what? I kind of want to go with the other one they got. And I looked at it and I'm like, this is probably an album. And it is. And I just listened to this one as well. This is their latest record. What's it called? Mutilated and Assimilated. Yeah. It's got really unique art. Really like it. And then at first, when I looked at the back, I thought they were lyrics. And I was like, these lyrics are really weird. Like, they don't match at all. That doesn't make any sense. But I found out it was track listing. So that's kind of cool. I like shirts like this, where it's the album cover on the front and the track listing on the back. So that was pretty sick. So those are the only shirts I got. Just because a lot of the bands just didn't have any. You know, just certain bands. And if they added them, or like Mortis Scold, like I really wanted a Mortis Scold shirt, and they just didn't have one. And they may have added some throughout the day, but I would only go at the very beginning and then watch bands the rest of the time. So if they added stuff later on or reorgan or whatever, I didn't see it. And I didn't think about it until it was too late. And then I got some patches. I don't know what I'm going to put them on. Like, my vest is basically full. So I might put them on some shorts or something. But they were just cool, man. King Diamond, Fatal Portrait, probably my favorite King Diamond album. So I was like, all right, that's cool. Been looking for that for a minute. They had a Merciful Fate Melissa one too, but I lost it because it was in like a big pile of patches. I was like, I should probably get that. And then I didn't, like a dumbass. And now it's gone forever into the ether, and I will never get one. And then I finally found an obituary patch that I really liked. Because, I don't know, there's a lot of obituary patches, and some of them are cool, some of them I see everywhere. And I was like, I need one that, like, speaks to me. And this one does, Inked in Blood, which I think is a fantastic album cover. It is just so badass. And it's a good album, too. I mean, fucking Visions in My Head has been a live staple forever, and that's just such a rad song. So I was like, all right, Inked in Blood. That's cool. And the final patch is actually for an album that I rarely see merchandise for whatever reason. And that would be Celtic Frost with Monotheist. Fucking great album. And I was very happy to see a patch. Never seen a patch of it before. Never seen a shirt of it before. So I was very pleased to get this. And that was it, you know. Like, there was just, you know, different vendors with patches and stuff. So that was it. But yeah, there was the merch I got. So There you go. All right, there is the end of part 2 of the Milwaukee Metal Fest review experience thing. I don't know what you call it. But yeah, I appreciate you guys for watching it. Hopefully they will continue the Milwaukee Metal Fest. And yeah, good time. If you guys have any questions or anything, just let me know. Drop a comment, whatever. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Stay heavy, stay safe. Peace out.